You downloaded it for free. You've never paid a cent. And yet that app is worth more than most banks. Instagram, TikTok, Spotify's free tier, Candy Crush. None of them charge you to walk in the door. And together they make hundreds of billions of dollars a year. So here's the question nobody stops to ask. If you're not paying, who is? Because someone is. And once you see how the money actually moves, you'll never look at a free app the same way again. Let's kill one idea first. Free is a pricing strategy, not an act of kindness. No company spends millions building an app to give it away out of love. I know this because I build software like this for a living. When you architect an app, the very first design decision isn't the color of the buttons. It's how does this thing make money? Everything else is built around that answer. And there are really only 4 answers. 4 engines that turn free users into billions. Most giant apps run 2 or 3 of them at once. Let me show you each, from the one you already suspect to the one that should genuinely unsettle you. Engine 1. Advertising. You've heard the phrase, if it's free, you're the product. It's true, but it's incomplete. Here's the real mechanism. A free app's actual product isn't the app. It's your attention, packaged and sold in tiny slices. Every second you scroll, the app is running a silent auction in the background. Advertisers bid, in real time, for the right to put something in front of you specifically. And the price of that slice depends entirely on who you are. A random viewer might be worth a fraction of a cent. But a 34-year-old in London who just searched business loan? Advertisers will fight over that person. Same app, same scroll, wildly different value. That's why these apps are obsessed with keeping you on screen. More scrolling means more auctions. More auctions mean more money. Your watch time is the revenue. Engine 2. Freemium. This is the one people underestimate the most. The trick? Give the app away to everyone, then sell upgrades to the tiny slice who want more. And when I say tiny, I mean it. In most freemium apps, only around 2 to 5% of users ever pay a cent. So how does that work? Because digital costs almost nothing to copy. Once the app is built, the 97 free users cost you almost nothing to serve. The 3 paying users cover all of it, and then some. The free crowd isn't a loss. They're the marketing. They're the reason the paying few ever found the app at all. I've built platforms on exactly this math. The free tier isn't charity. It's a funnel. Every free user is either a future customer or someone who brings you one. Engine 3. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. Microtransactions. This is the mobile game engine. That 99-cent pack of gems. The continue button after you lose. It feels harmless. But here's the secret the industry doesn't say out loud. These games don't make money from the many. They make it from the few. They're called whales, a small group of players who spend hundreds, sometimes thousands. In many mobile games, just a sliver of players generates the majority of the revenue. The entire game, every color, every sound, every so close near miss, is engineered to find those few people and gently, relentlessly get them to spend. And notice the design underneath it. The difficulty spikes right when a purchase would help. The reward lands right when you're about to quit. That's not an accident. That's the business model, wearing a costume. Engine 4. Your data and the trap door underneath it. Every tap, every pause, everything you almost clicked is recorded. Not to be creepy for its own sake, but to make engines 1, 2, and 3 sharper. The better an app knows you, the more precisely it can sell your attention, tempt your upgrade, or find the whale in you. But there's a deeper layer. The real prize isn't a single purchase. It's making the app impossible to leave. Your photos live here. Your friends are here. Your saved history is here. The switching cost becomes so high that leaving feels like losing a part of your life. That's the end game. Not to charge you once, but to become infrastructure you can't walk away from. So, back to the question. If you're not paying, who is? Sometimes it's an advertiser buying your attention. Sometimes it's the 3% who upgrade. Sometimes it's a whale funding the whole game. And sometimes it's future you, so locked in you'll never leave. Free was never free. It was just a bill paid in a currency you didn't notice you were spending. Your attention, your data, your habit. Next time an app costs you nothing, ask yourself which of the 4 engines is running. Once you can name it, the spell kind of breaks. If this changed how you see the phone in your hand, the next one's on how buy now, pay later quietly reprograms the way you spend. Subscribe.